Oh, God.
The mainstream media jumped on in the 90s. I forget what his name is, but he was an NBC reporter. He had a glass.
In public, the first one who mentioned him was Ollie North.
Okay, gotcha.
At the Senate hearings on why he did what he did. But to flip back there for a sec and comment on what Obama had to say, what Obama was doing, and this is a method of selling. What Obama was doing was answering the objections before they come. He was pre-answering the objections of the public. We're not going to do this, so we're doing this for another reason, those terrible terrorists, et cetera, et cetera. And so this is not directed at you, so don't think that it is. He's answering the objection before it happens.
Yeah, kind of like preemptive detention that he keeps talking about.
Exactly.
I mean, it's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible to me. Now, what's your take on the Supreme Court ruling that just happened on Tuesday where they're saying, well, we can interrogate people without a lawyer, but we're not overturning the fact that you can have a lawyer when we interrogate you. It's complete doublespeak, number one. Number two, it was 5-4. It's never 6-3 or 7-2 or 9-0. They really make it out to be, oh, your civil liberties just... you lost them by a hair, and really this is a debatable issue. But in certain circumstances now, they're going to be able to interrogate people without a lawyer, while certain circumstances mean any circumstances that the police or the authorities want to present to a judge, Bob.
Well, what happens when you say, no, you can't interrogate me, I won't answer any of your questions?
Well, then I guess they can have more aggressive interrogations. You know what can happen in a closed room. You might slip, you might hurt yourself, and, they might be able to get a confession out of you, and then you can later say, well, I didn't have my lawyer present, and apparently they can just throw that out now. You can go check out the decision yourself. It is littered with doublespeak.
I want to say this. If they start that, I wouldn't give 2 cents for anybody in law enforcement in the United States. Because what's going to happen is they're going to beat somebody and throw them to the ground and break their collarbone or something like that. And the cops that did it, people are going to come up behind them in the middle of the night and shoot them in the back of the head. That's going to happen.
Excuse me. Let me just read you what it says. Supreme Court rules police can initiate suspects questioning. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled on Tuesday that police, under certain circumstances, can initiate an interrogation of a suspect without the defendant's lawyer being present. By a 5-4 vote, the conservative majority overruled a 23-year-old Supreme Court decision that barred the police from initiating questioning after a defendant asserted the right to an attorney at an arraignment or similar proceeding. So here it's really just saying right there, even if he asks for a lawyer, we can still interrogate him. The 1986 decision held that once a defendant invoked the right to counsel, only a suspect and not the police can initiate the contact. Now here's where the doublespeak kicks in. The ruling was the latest in a recent string by conservative justices expanding the power of police to question suspects, but it does not change the landmark 1966 ruling barring the police from questioning a suspect who invokes the right to remain silent or have a lawyer present. So again, total Orwellian doublespeak.
And they beat you.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I read it, Bob. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm delusional.
A lot of people are going to get beaten. Men and women both.
Well, it's already happening.
Do you live the Nazis did the same thing. That was a democracy. Adolf Hitler was elected. His party was. They won 82% of the vote.
That is correct. A lot of people don't see that.
People don't know what they're getting themselves into here. And I'll tell you, law enforcement, and I know you're listening, don't do it.
I got to agree with you. The website is theinternationalforecaster.com. Let's go to Gary in New York. Gary, you're on the line.
Yeah, how you doing, Jason?
All right.
Good. Well, one thing that worries me about what you and Alex does is that, like with the Obama deception, I mean, how many movies did you guys make about Bush? I mean, Obama's been in office for how long, and you got like one.
Are you kidding me? Is that a joke? How many movies did we make about Bush? I mean, really? Is that some kind of a sick and twisted joke?
Do you have one movie that's called the frickin' Bush deception?
Hold on. I mean, look at American Dictators. It follows the entire 2004 election where we gone after both John Kerry and George Bush for 90 minutes. What are you talking about? Hold on. The Road to Tyranny 2002 is a scathing movie on the Bush administration. 2004's Martial Law, 9/11 Rise of the Police State. The 9/11 Chronicles is very critical of the Bush administration. Bush was so outwardly evil, and they didn't promote him as a character with a halo over his head to become the world president. They didn't say that he was changed, okay? He was a party line politician that in 2000, wait a minute, I think it was in 99, Alex Jones confronted him when he was the governor of Texas. It was one of the most viral videos before YouTube even ever existed. I can't even, that comment, Endgame, goes after the Bush administration. How many movies do we have to make? Obviously I made Loose Change, second edition, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies. Fabled Enemies, Bush administration, Bush 1 administration. Unforgiving. Hold over. The things you're saying are just so outwardly ludicrous. I don't know if you have a leg to stand on, sir. Just because Bush isn't in the title, he's on the cover of some of these things. He's in the background. He's mentioned in the Bohemian Grove video. Back with Bob Chapman and calls after this. It's the Alex Jones Show. I'm Jason Burmis, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv. All right, we are back. Final segment with Bob Chapman, and I guess that Gary dropped off. He doesn't have a leg to stand on, folks. Let me just go through the stack of movies right in front here. American Dictators has Bush on the back cover. It goes after John Kerry. Right in the very beginning of the Obama deception, we expose George W. Bush and his administration as well. It's not about left or right. It's about the Obama worship that's out there. We're trying to bring the left in to awaken them that they've drank the Kool-Aid. Dark Secrets from Bohemian Grove. Both Bush boys are in the background from their little pose over at the Bohemian Grove Club out of their own annal, which is right to the left of me. There's Bush again on Matrix of Evil. All these available at Infowars.com, where you can see them for a very small fee, becoming a PrisonPlanet.tv subscriber in the highest of qualities. Right here, Road to Tyranny. Oh, Gary is back. Gary, what are you talking about? Right here I've got 4 movies in front of me. I just can't even believe the statement. Go ahead.
Named Bush anything.
What's that?
Are any of those movies named Bush anything?
Again, Bush, listen, they didn't sell Bush posters at Walmart. There aren't Bush T-shirts in hipster stores and hip-hop shops that people are worshiping. Now, he didn't start a civil service corps with the term I am change. The Obama worship is off the hook. But every single commercial for these, every cover has Bush on it. You know what? You want to hold over till the top of the hour. I'll take you to task. But I got to finish up with Bob Chapman. Bob, it's ludicrous to say that this office hasn't gone after the Bush administration. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And, these sort of things happen with people who are set in their ways.
Yeah, to think that, look, the Obama administration is awful. What are you talking about, sir? They came out in the very beginning. They said, we're anti-war. In 2006, people fell for, the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi. They're going to hold the Bush administration's feet to the fire. They're going to go after them as war criminals. Didn't happen. Somebody on the left actually woke up. Her name was Cindy Sheehan. She tried to take that congressional seat away from Pelosi, but then the mainstream media immediately turned on her when she went away from this conservative, liberal, left-right spectrum that doesn't exist. It's imaginary, sir. It's there to control you. If you're a leftist, you're out of your mind. If you're a far-right guy, you're out of your mind. You should be a constitutionalist. You should be for individual freedoms. This blows my mind. The Obama administration is now going to be in Iraq publicly until the end of 2011 with 50,000 quote-unquote non-combat troops. There's zero plan to get out of Afghanistan. We've redistributed forces there. They want to build a Eurasian Union. That's part of it. The Middle East is a big target, and this administration is going to stay in the Middle East militarily as long as it possibly can. Wouldn't you agree, Bob?
Absolutely. It's a geopolitical situation as well as one in protecting the oil, so the oil will flow to America and to Europe, and the United States government and American oil companies won't have to access the tremendous amounts of oil that they have in the United States.
Yeah, it's just still blowing my mind. Why don't you give out the website one more time and tell people where they can get gold and silver to really protect themselves as it shoots up, before it's too late, before the collapse of the dollar, before you don't have anything, before you don't have a home, before your pension's completely gone, before you can't afford your car payments. Go ahead, Bob.
TheInternationalForecaster.com. TheInternationalForecaster.com. FORECASTER.com, or you can call toll-free 877-479-8178, 877-479-8178.
Thank you so much, Bob.